pointing down. You probably can't see that, but the arrow is pointing down, little arrow on there. And then put that on. Now tighten it up. So this piece is done. This wiggles a little bit, but I'm not worried about it because when we screw the sides on, that will tighten it up. Now the next instruction says I'm supposed to put this end on here and screw it into the top, the middle shelf, and the bottom. There's two pieces that look almost alike. Which one do I put there? Well, I know this is wrong because this has a groove and that has a groove and they aren't lining up. So if I put that in, and you can see those grooves line up, so that's going to be, when the back piece slides in, it'll notch in very cleanly there. So I'm going to line up the other two pieces and then we'll put screws in from the far end. Now I like to put all the screws in very loosely before I tighten everything down to make sure it's all lined up. So I'm going to put these screws in first to get that top shelf lined up, and then I'm going to line up the second shelf. Okay, so I have all of those screws started. I'll tighten those up and then we're going to move down to this end. One step at a time. You have to make sure everything fits. I think that's a pretty important pointer. These pieces, although they're cheaply made, they can look really good and be really strong if you take your time putting them together. Sometimes the holes don't line up perfectly, so always loose fit them and slowly go around the whole thing. I have 5 screws or 4 screws there. So I'm not going to tighten one down and then tighten the next 3. I'm going to move around them in a pattern, tightening, 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 maybe adjust a little bit, move it so it's lined up just the way I wanted. Then I tighten it down and you'll be really happy with the results. Also be very careful. These are really coarse threads and the fiberboard these are made out of can be stripped very easily. Be careful how tight you make this. Make it so it's snug and no tighter. If it's wobbly, tighten a little bit, but don't go overboard or you could strip out the hole that this is made out of. And then there's solutions, but it's going to be kind of tricky to solve that problem. All right, now I'm going to put the bottom shelf in. Be careful because